Good day everybody, hope you're doing alright. It's time for the Rust Workshop skin checks. Now let's just quickly talk about last week's video. So, of course, I talked to you and I said I noticed the problem that some of these videos are going on for a bit too long. So last week, I made sure to be a whole lot more efficient and sticking with the point of really only focusing the likes of continuations or collections. That video kind of was a bit rushed. It felt like it was a bit too quick, ended up only being about 45 minutes long. So I looked at your feedback, I read into the comments and whatnot, and it really does seem like quite a lot of you do like the longer videos. However, in the grand scope of things, I want this video to be accessible to everybody, not just you. So I do get the feeling that I should be efficient. I should be like putting more focus in regards to like the financial perspective, looking at the continuations and whatnot. I will also always point out that I always, if you look at the description, you'll notice I do have chapters and whatnot. I just want that to be fully well aware, alright? So if you've been watching me for a long time, you do realise you can just skip ahead to the specific parts if you really want to. But anyway. So for all, all people in the audience, I think I should probably aim for maybe about an hour. Because at the end of the day, on average, every week we're getting like 100 new skins to take a look at. And like, if I was to rush all of that, it would just be like pointless. We're not going to get the point of the idea of investing and whatnot across to people. Like, is this going to be a good idea or not? It's going to be a bit rubbish. So I should probably give myself, cut myself some slack. Talk about the skins if you want to. Maybe there are some interesting points to bring up and whatnot. Let's have fun with it still. However, we can't look at every single skin with too much time. Let's be efficient. Do put the effort in to make sure that, hey, this is a continuation. This might potentially be special. We'll, of course, use the likes of scmm.app to help visualize whether it's going to be a good investment or not. You get the idea. But I feel like maybe if I can kind of aim for about an hour for each video, I feel like that's perfect, perfect, even ground for everybody. Those who like to sit back and enjoy the long, excessive talking about pixels, but some people who just want to get straight to the point and be aware of all the skins that are notable and what collections potentially to invest towards. So I want to make sure everybody's happy, because if you're not satisfied watching the videos, I'm clearly doing something wrong. So that's what I took in from your feedback. Hopefully from here and now the video is going to be a whole lot more enjoyable, I hope. But yeah, that's going to be my intentions. Now, another thing that I know I should do is I'm probably going to go ahead and make a private video where I set up and talk about how you can set up a followed authors list, because a lot of newer people who might watch these videos might not have they probably don't have a clue, all right? So I feel like I should make like a private video, and every time we bring up the whole idea of private videos, I'll just point upwards like this and I'll say, hey guys, look in the top right corner. You might notice that there's a special link that's being presented to you right now. If you click that, there'll be a private video explaining how to set up a followed authors list. I feel like that's what I should probably do, because that might shave off like 5 to 10 minutes every single video as well. So, one thing I've also noticed is I can see the data and whatnot. So many of you are skipping ahead to just go straight to the deployables of the video. So that doesn't surprise me. So yeah, that's something I've also taken into consideration. So just kind of explaining all of that, should we jump straight into it? Now, before we talk about all the new skins today, there is a bit of a talking point, but then we'll start talking about all the new skins, starting with deployables and whatnot. So I just wanted to bring that up. Right then. Good day everybody, hope you're doing alright. It's time for the Rust Workshop skin checks. Yes, over the past weekend we saw many interesting new submissions that appeared on the Rust Workshop, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at all of them today. Or more specifically, we're on the hunt to identify any continuations of collections, because by default with every Rust store, if we see a new skin appearing that's part of a collection, we tend to see a bit of a spike in demand and a spike in price for the pre-existing skins from the same collection. Therefore, it might be wise to consider investing into those collections beforehand. So that's the idea. With a financial perspective, we're aiming to potentially identify any investments to make in the efforts of making potentially very nice, delicious looking profits. Does that sound good? Right then. So before we get started today, I should point out there's a new top picks list right here, and with the upcoming September Rust store that we're going to have this week, the first September Rust store of this month, there's some interesting information that you should be aware of. We're going to have this new content being introduced, but the main thing I'm talking about is this. Right, weapon rack item pack. That sounds like DLC to me. The wording of that definitely sounds like they're going to sell the weapon racks as a DLC. So, doesn't surprise me. It's a cosmetic feature that doesn't directly impact the game, and the people who are going to flex all of their expensive collections already had a whole bunch of money. We shouldn't be surprised by that at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if the next potential Rust store is going to be very weapon heavy, more specifically guns, because that's what you're going to put in the weapon racks. So, yeah. There is a potential good chance we might see some fairly old skins being accepted for this next Rust store. Think like this: if they want to promote the idea of people to, buying those gun racks, maybe they need to look into certain collections, notable collections, which had some submissions in the past year, but they didn't have a gun accepted. I mean, immediately I could look at the likes of this Panther collection right here. They had a SAR submitted not too long ago. That wasn't accepted. But maybe now we might potentially see that being pulled out from quite a long time back, because that was submitted like a month and a half ago. Yeah, so yeah, I think that potentially might be a consideration. But you can see what I'm talking about. It might not just be the likes of Panther collection, like there's other very notable collection, like Black Gold, for example. I do know there's some sniper rifles from that collection that didn't get accepted, so maybe we're going to see skins from quite some time back, essentially basically what we had with the likes of the recent Complete the Sets and whatnot, some very old skins, because it's all there to promote the idea of using the gun racks. So don't be surprised if that potentially happens, but there's no guarantee that could happen. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it happened. And also, you should probably notice that over the past couple of weeks, we had some interesting skins being made. Do you remember those rugs that we had like a week or two ago for the helicopters? Well, attack helicopters coming. I wouldn't be surprised if we see those rugs being accepted. So yeah. We, of course, every week tend to see skins being made in reference to upcoming content. Well, here's the new content. Let's see what gets accepted this week. Sounds good? Cool. So that's why I sit here and say, get a good look at all of these skins, because usually, by default, all the skins that you see here in the top picks lists usually have the best chance in being accepted. This is the normal routine. So yeah, give that a good look. And please do not forget, that German guy has also supplied to us a very nice, insightful video in which we can see all of the skins in-game, and if you want to get a very good look at all of them, I would definitely recommend that you go watch this newest video right here, so you can get a good look at all of these skins, and if they do get accepted, you'd very likely already have a good idea of whether the skin's probably going to do alright, based on how good it looks in-game. Sounds good? Awesome. So, we can probably get started now with this collection link right here. This collection link of all the skins that we're going to take a look at, it's in the description right now. You could click that right now, go through the whole batch of skins whilst we're talking about all of them, that's fine. But we are going to be somewhat efficient. We're not going to talk about every single skin in depth. And I'm sorry about that to you skin creators, but some skins have notable talking points. Some skins are skins in reference to upcoming content, and of course some skins, are continuations of collections. So of course when that happens, when we talk about skins from notable collections, we'll bring up scmm.app. Sounds good? Right, so yes, sorry, I stalled for a bit there. I was like, oh, well, what the... brain went farted, so shall we just begin? Shall we start talking about all of these deployables? So let's begin. It's the September 5 batch of Rusty skin submissions, and instantly we've got a talking point. So this is the Locker to Heaven. Now you might somewhat be familiar to this. Wait, hang on a minute. Haven't I seen this design before? Yes, you have. See, this is made somewhat to be a bit of a spiritual successor to a certain wooden door skin, that being the Door to Heaven. So let's just quickly hop over to here. Of course, I'm constantly keeping an eye on the commits. But yes, if we just type in Door to Heaven, you might be aware of this wooden door skin that's been around for years. So long that the skin creator that made this is actually long gone. He doesn't make skins anymore. So we just quickly look at its workshop page. This was made by Joffred Pennis, and I don't think he's submitted a skin for like 5+ years. So here's a talking point, and you're free to express your opinion, write down in the comments. I ask you, would you like to see spiritual successors of certain skins that got accepted all by itself, but it never really turned into a collection? the best example I have to you right here was, of course, that Door to Heaven. See, that was a skin that was all by itself. It wasn't part of a collection or anything. But, of course, loads of people are very well aware of it because that's actually like one of the most expensive wooden door skins that we have in the game. Most notably, it has that see-through hole right there, and for the longest time, this was one of the only doors with transparency that you could see through, therefore making it quite valuable. But as time has gone on, especially with the likes of wooden doors, we've seen more and more wooden doors with some transparency in which you can see through them and, tactical advantage. So, yeah, main point is there any other random skins that were somewhat isolated all by themselves, but you'd think, you know what, I would like to see more skins of that. I would like to see that potentially being turned into a sort of collection. So yeah, this isn't made by Joffred, no. This is made by Morphus and Micro. And yeah, what do you think? Do you reckon it could potentially happen to a whole lot more skins from here and now? Also, do you like the design? Do you reckon it looks pretty cool? I think it's pretty nice. I can see, of course, we also got the special heart hole right there. So yeah, we haven't had many locker skins being made somewhat recently, and we haven't had that many accepted. Maybe this potentially could work out very well for it. We shall see, alright? So, remember, you have the link to the whole collection of the skins in the description right now, and as we go through each and every single one of these skins, you could consider voting yes or no if you happen to like the skins. But remember what I always say, if you don't really like it, why not offer some constructive criticism? Be nice, efficient, straight to the point, concise, don't be rude. Be helpful, because maybe the skin doesn't get accepted, but your insightfulness, your helpful words could potentially give them a good idea of what they could incorporate into a version 2, and then they might, put that in with their new version 2 version of the skin, if that sounds alright to you. And, if you happen to like the skin, just offer some nice words, keeps them nice and motivated, and keeps them wanting to make more and more skins in the future. And that's all good for us, isn't it? Yes. Alright then, so best of luck to you two. Let's now start taking a look at rugs. So, Mr. Shino right there, he's got a pretty cool looking clan map right there. Get a good look at all of that. I'm not sure what they're plotting. Everybody else's doom sounds alright to me, so good stuff there, Shino and SMN. If you like it, please consider voting yes or no. Now, immediately, we have something pretty special. This is this is a continuation of the Minted Gold collection. Yes, the Minted Gold rug, ever so shiny. You could quite literally cover your entire base in gold. Think of the prospect. Think of the prospect. You get to live in a golden base. Yes. So, we now have to talk about the Minted Gold collection, so let's go to it. We've had 3 deployables accepted so far, and this is made by the one and only Mr. Trix right there. So, last year we had the likes of the Armored Door, we had the large box, and earlier this year we had the Minted Gold garage door. Now, when these first appeared, they were selling at quite an expensive price. In fact, for each of the skins, it's been somewhat pricey. But what I have seen, and you shouldn't be surprised by it, this is a deployable collection. With each new deployable being accepted, there's been a spike in demand and a spike in price for each of the skins in which a new deployable is accepted. Now, unfortunately, the collection kind of stopped with the garage door. We haven't had a skin accepted for about 7 months. Bit awkward. And there have been attempts, there have been newer submissions, but they have been accepted, unfortunately. But if that rug right there does get accepted, and new deployable for the deployable collection, by default, yes, I would expect there to be a spike in demand, spike in price for all 3 of these skins, and potentially they could maybe very nicely rise up in price. The best one to potentially look at might be the garage door here, as it's gone down in price the most compared to all of them, but there are no guarantees. Remember, there's been 2 other attempts in the past year, and they haven't been accepted. So, it's up for consideration, but like I said, by default, you will still see the spike in demand and the increase in price of these 3 deployable skins. So, if you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Trix. Right there, now we've got some furnace skins to take a look at. Got a reasonable amount right here. So, yes, we have the Cobalt Cola. I'm not sure. Okay, I feel like as mentioned, Cola itself does not have any copyright, but it's a red bottle with a red cap. Kind of pushing it there a little bit, Mr. G. Slivkey. I'm just saying. But maybe it might work out all right. You know, we've had all these food sleeping bags. Maybe we could have some bottled drinks. And if it's just cola, that's fine. All right. It's just the fact, you know, it's red. Just saying. So yeah, if you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have the Astral Furnace. This is made by Kavahu. Oh, we got a nice gift there. Oh, that is perfect. Look at the shine on that. Very nice. Very cozy. So yes, a very nice looking furnace right there. If you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have the Decorative Furnace. This is made by Wagan and Ike Finier. You can see all the references to the idea of how they... hang on a minute, aren't these like... I thought they were Christmas baubles, but I have seen these types of like silly little trinkets that you put on like the side. Yeah, they're like special lights that you can get. I get you. So, okay, fair enough. If you like the design of this and you think it looks pretty neat, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. Then we have the Clumsy Furnace. FaZe, what's this? Uh-oh. Someone got clumsy and accidentally poured yogurt into the furnace. Okay. Hey, if you want a yogurt-covered furnace, please consider voting yes or no. FaZe, I don't know. I'm just going to move on. Rev Neon Furnace. Get a good look at this. It's bright, it's colourful, and it looks ever so nice at night time. This is made by Rotten Man. He hasn't got any words to say, but maybe all he needs to do is show off these nice looking pictures. So, if you're a fan of this Rev Neon Furnace, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you. Right, then we have the Molten Gold Furnace. This isn't anything to do with the Minted Gold collection that we just showed off a minute ago. This is made by K. Vladimir and Hello. Get a good look at this. Very nice looking appearance there at night time when it's turned on. Yep, looking pretty cool. Alright then, and then yeah, it's all hot. So yes, if you happen to like this, please consider voting yes or no. Now we're going to move on to sleeping bags, and as I just stated, recently we've been seeing a lot of food-related sleeping bags getting accepted, and I am fully aware that this is a version 2, because earlier this year we did see Kua putting out the hot dog sleeping bag. Well, now's the perfect time, good sir, because now we've added ketchup with the mustard, yes. Do you need another delicious-looking sleeping bag to get ever so cozy in? Well, we got a perfect JPEG of a hot dog. No one's going to get that joke, Hedge. No one's going to get the joke. But yes, Mr. Kua, best of luck to you. Now's your time. Now's your time, Kua. Surely the hot dog gets accepted now to go with the burrito and the bag of fries. So, yeah, let's see if that works out very well for you, bud. Best of luck. And then we have the Constellations Sleeping Bag made by Kavensi and Michael. So, this is an interesting point because it's a continuation of the Constellations collection. So, do you remember not too long ago we did have one of the, we had this being accepted for Complete the Sets, and since then, well, the garage door went down a bit in price, unfortunately, but what we did see previously when this was accepted, this had a bit of a spike in demand, spike in price. These did a little bit as well, but they were already kind of already valuable, and since then, as we've entered September, quite a lot of skins overall, rust skins, they've all kind of gone down in price. It's unfortunate, but it's a usual pattern that we tend to see every single year, so don't be too worried about that. But what I am sitting here saying, you see this sleeping bag right here? Even though we only have one picture of it, which is a little bit awkward, I wouldn't be surprised if it's also glow in the dark and whatnot, like all the previous Constellations deplorables. This is a deplorable. This is a deplorable collection. What happens when we see a new deplorable being introduced to a deplorable collection? I think we've already talked about this. Yes. All of this should still, by default, have a spike in demand and a spike in price. And as the collection grows bigger, the whole collection gets more and more invested into. So, yeah, things are looking pretty interesting for this potentially. But I will point this out, Kavensi, over the past couple years or so, has been pumping out more and more and more and more Constellation skins. But the acceptance rate hasn't really worked out super great for him over the time. It's awkward. They're more than happy to pick this out for Complete the Sets, but they don't seem to want to accept his skins during the weeks. I don't know. It's a fair bit awkward, but I'm still rooting for you, Mr. Kavensi. Let's see if that turns out alright. Could there potentially be a very nice investment right there? We shall see in the near future if it gets accepted. So best of luck to you, Kavensi and Michael. Right, here we have some storages to take a look at. We've got some small boxes and then some large wood boxes. First up, we have the Inkblot storage box. I'm not sure what it's leaking. I'm a little bit worried, but mercy, you probably should add some description to just quickly explain what's inside. But yeah, to all skin creators, I definitely would recommend some sort of description just to kind of explain what we're looking at. It helps a lot. Right, here we have the El Diablo storage box, and you might realise, yes, this is a continuation of the El Diablo collection made by Mr. Eros. Let's go take a look at that. So, Eros, I know for a fact that this is the second Diablo! Sorry. Yeah, we recently had the wooden door being accepted, and then of course we have the El Diablo sword being accepted for complete the sets. But as you might notice, this collection mainly consists of weapons. We did recently have the wooden door. Looks like Mr. Eros is now kind of wanting to delve into getting some more deployables being made. And you know what? Fair enough. That's actually a pretty cool idea. So, we've only got one deployable so far. Will that magically spike in demand and spike in price if we see this small box being accepted? I'll be honest with you, wooden doors are kind of their own problem by themselves. It's an issue based on demand and usage and whatnot. I really don't think that's going to magically go up in price. What about all the weapons? Again, I feel like what's going to work out best for the likes of these weapons is if we see maybe like clothing and armour being accepted. I don't think these are all going to magically spike in demand, spike in price, especially during the current times. Skin prices are going down. They're very likely going to reach rock bottom at some point in October, and then after that, magically, they'll all go back up in price and up in demand. So, yeah, it's a cool looking small box. I will give it to you. This also comes in non-glowing and glowing versions, as you can see right there. Very nice. But I don't think the collection itself is safe to invest into at the moment, I guess you could say. But if we keep seeing more and more deployables being made and accepted, all the better for these deployables. So let's see what else. Let's see if it gets accepted, and let's see what else comes out in the future. The idea of making deployables from this collection, Eros, is a good idea, and I would like to see a whole lot more. So let's see how that potentially turns out. Right, now we've got HQM's. What was it? It was the Constructor Glow-in-the-Dark Large Wood Box. It reminds me of the Meccano sets that you used to see. Basically, you get like all of these little metal pieces, and you kind of like bolted them all together to make like some special type of design. So, yep, looking pretty cool. If you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have Ideal returning to making, or intending to make, a storage collection. But Ideal, I have talked about this before, and I don't want to talk too much about it again. You, by default, with all of these large storage collection attempts, we always see the name, the colour, the picture of the object that it's for. But what we've seen for the recent storage collections that have been successful is a special fourth thing, a special fourth ingredient that makes the individual box stand out compared to all the other ones while still being in theme with the likes of what the whole collection is. So when you look at the likes of the graffiti collection that we had not too long ago, basically last year, each and every single one of the graffiti, that was, the font for the name of the box was in style, stylized based around what the box was for. So like the explosives, the boom storage, quite literally the font was the explosion. That looked cool. And the meds one had like bandages all around it, and it was kind of leaking blood a little bit. Yeah, so you need something that's going to help it out in regards to making it individual compared to each and every single one of them, in which it's not just a different color, a different name, and a different picture. It needs something extra. All right, that's just me passing on the useful bit of information, because Scientific did it, Graffiti did it, we haven't had a third one yet. So, and also it's not like Face Punch was like calling for another collection to be made. There's been many attempts over this past year, none of them have been accepted, so it is what it is. Alright, so okay, we got that addressed. So let's move on to the wooden door of the week. Mr. 19J made a wooden door. It's black and white. Yes. Turn the colour back on. Yeah, I guess he probably has taken a bit of a break this week. So, Mr. 19J and 34633, if you happen to like what they made, please consider voting yes or no. Right, with that, we can now move on to sheet metal doors. Let's get a real quick look at all of these. And we do have some interesting continuations of collections. You probably noticed a very notable one. Well, Don't worry, we'll talk about it in a second. Here is the sun-faced sheet metal door. Get a good look at this. Very nice, very cool. This is made by Chris or Christina. And we have a GIF where you can slowly see it being turned to dark. Okay, yeah. So this doesn't appear to glow in the dark, as you can see right here. Not that I notice at the very least. No, it doesn't look like it glows in the dark. So if you happen to like this sheet metal door, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have the Memento sheet metal door. Get a good look at that. Why is there a bear? We're not bears, all right? We're not selling doors for bears, Alloy. Okay, I'm just let's just move on. So this is made by Alloy and Falco. Get a good look at this. Well, that looks pretty interesting. A glow in the dark. I'm not sure if we're allowed to have Christian symbolism. I'm not sure actually about that. I don't actually have like the manifesto of like all the rules for the skins, but then again, we did probably have some Halloween skins that had it. Anyway, if you happen to like this, please consider voting yes or no for the likes of Alloy and Falco's Memento sheet metal door. Then we have the Raid Me sheet metal door. Yeah? I don't know what that sends. I guess that's going to probably give you a special message if you look on your phone. It'll probably say Raid Me or something goofy. The Cure has a mistake. What? Oh, no. Okay, well, yeah, had an idea, and it probably had... okay, if you like it, let's move on. Okay, cool. If you like it, please consider voting yes or no. Right, here is a version 2 of the Wild West sheet metal door made by Dark Schneider and Zed Skipper. Looking pretty cool. We got the skull right there, we got the hide here, we got the pretty cool looking pattern design on the door right behind it. But this, I do repeat, is a sheet metal door, and if you happen to like the design, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you two. Right. Oh, and we got a gift down here. Yep, that looks pretty damn cool. Right, awesome. Right then, now we got the Golden Lion door. It comes in a non-glowing version and a glowing version. So this is made by Anafen. As you can see, non-glow. And this one, his eyes stare at you in the night. So, if you happen to like the Golden Lion sheet metal door, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Anafen. Right. Here we go. This is the beginning of free skins that are continuations of collections. Earlier this year, COSEM had a rug skin being accepted. That was the Drywall. If we could quickly go take a look at that. So, well, is it all one word or is it two separate words? I might just have to look up all... Oh, no, there it is. Okay, cool. So, this was the Drywall rug. Hasn't been really maintaining that price it sold for, that being $2.49. But it was just kind of all by itself for a very long time. As you can see, you can cover your entire base to look as if it was all drywall. Ha ha ha, very goofy, very silly. But it's been a long time since we've seen a skin being, continued from it. And here it is, yes. Not only can you cover your entire walls to look like drywall, but now the door is also drywall. How goofy, how silly. But potentially, as Deployable collection, this might help out the likes of the rug a whole lot more. As I said, hasn't really maintained that $2.49 price if it's currently only selling for about $1 at the moment. So, if that were to be accepted, could we potentially see a rise in price? Oh, I've lost it. Could we potentially see a rise in price for the rug skins? Maybe. If we saw even more doors being made and accepted as well, I definitely think yeah. So, Mr. COSEM, I would recommend maybe making like a garage door as well. Armored door. Make the consideration, and yeah, we will see the likes of the rug getting an increase in demand and whatnot. So let's just keep an eye on all of that. It's in your hands, Mr. COSEM, and it's in your hands to consider whether you want to vote yes or no if you like it. Now we have the Hardsuit metal door. Get a good look at this. Yes, so Mr. Shedmon hasn't been successful getting that sheet metal, Hardsuit metal tier 2 being accepted. He had many attempts, unfortunately didn't lead to anything. It sucks. we were also invested into it. But now he's decided to continue the collection, but in terms of deployables. So here we have a Hardsuit metal door. Let's go take a look at the Hardsuit sets, and let's see how that's all holding up. Because it's a little bit awkward, because it's all clothing and armour. It is all clothing and armour. Now, what would a door help out the likes of this? I don't think so. I know what would help fix this. It's the tier 2, but we can't have that even though we've had like 4 attempts at trying to get it accepted. I don't know, Shedmon. It's really weird. Maybe it gets accepted for a future complete the sets. Who knows? But would the likes of a sheet metal door help it out? I don't think it's going to help this out, but if we keep seeing more Hardsuit stuff being accepted and made, that being Deployables, I do get the feeling that could work out quite all right. But by default, how many Sheepman of Doors skins have we had this year? A little too many. Do you remember not too long ago we had 2 Sheepman of Doors being accepted? We had the Tugboat Door and the Adobe Door. Well, look at that now. Down 35% already. That doesn't look good. And then if we look at all the Sheepman of Doors that came out this year, well, take a look at this. How many of them are in the negative? How many of them in the positive? The Adobe decorative door does seem to be retaining its values. That's all right. But even now, I told you skins are going down at the moment. The Abyss Sheepman of Doors now in the negative ever so slightly. It might potentially go back up in the positive. But yeah, that right there doesn't look good. So, by default, I don't exactly have my hopes up that this would be magically perfectly fine instantly. So, yeah, awkward. Sorry, but I'm looking at this with a financial perspective. Then oh god. That was the perfect image to just jump into. Yes, it's the Hamster door. Hello. This is Mr. Keke's newest insane. This is the continuation of the Hamster rock. Now, of course, over the year, he has been making many pet rocks. One of them was the Capybara rock. That turned out quite all right. Then we got the Hamster rock being accepted at a later time. But what Keke did was he made some Capybara Deployables. They got accepted. That turned into a Capybara collection. Well, he's thought to himself, you know what? Why don't I just try and make some Hamster Deployables as well and see if I can get my own Hamster collection? So it's goofy. It's silly. Could it work out quite all right for the Hamster rock? Let's just quickly go take a look at the likes of that. So Hamster. Because the Hamster rock is actually the best performing rock that came out this year, I believe. I think it's the only one that's currently in the positive. Actually, it doesn't look like it. $2.49, $2.19. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, let's look at all the rock skins that came out this year. Okay, so yeah, that's not looking the best. But like I said, every single rust skin at the moment is now starting to suffer. This one's doing all right because it's about to be Halloween, so he's happy. Look at him. Look at his smile. Anyway, could things improve for this? Yes, I do. We did see the likes of the Capybara rock going up in price a fair bit when we saw more Capybara Deployable skins being accepted. We did see that, but, you know, it's been a while since we've seen one of them being accepted, and the price of the Capybara rock did go back down on price again. So this right here, yes, I could see it helping out the likes of the rock, but I can't guarantee if that's going to be accepted. So, yeah, let's move on. Let's now start talking about the garage doors. We got a decent amount of them. Oh yeah, we got a very questionable one right here. What's that about, Hedge? Well, you'll see for a second. So, here is the military armoured garage door. This is made by Mad Polly. Get a good look at this. Another skin calling itself a military skin. Oh no, if you aren't aware, we have like 4 or 5 different military collections. It's awkward. Yeah. So yeah, if you happen to like this, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have the Armory garage door. This is made by Trakmer. And, right, you can see what he's done here. So, as we said at the very beginning of this video, we talked about the likes of the upcoming Weapon Racks DLC. Well, you can see how this is supposed to be the garage door before you enter the room with all of the very cool looking gun racks. So I like the idea. It looks pretty cool. Could that potentially work out? Let's see. So yeah, if you want to have a very cool looking door to pair up with the likes of your upcoming gun racks room, well, please consider voting yes or no for the likes of this Army garage door. Best of luck to you. Trakmer. Then, okay, this is the questionable door. You might be sitting there and saying, what's wrong with it? Do you notice the problem here? Do you notice the potential issue here? Now, there's a bit of a problem with this. This is a little bit too transparent. So, throughout this year, we've had some garage doors being given away for free as Twitch drops, which had some transparency. That's nice. People appreciate them. You know, it's for free. That's cool. But skins being sold, I think that's a different matter. I don't think this is going to be allowed. I think it's a little bit too excessive, a little bit too much. Little Ranger, you're being a naughty skin creator. You've been a little bit excessive here. I would be incredibly surprised if something like this were to be accepted. If that happened, it would be incredibly pay to win, and people will probably be upset with Face Punch. And I think they're fully aware of that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he just made a version 2 and had that, like, maybe opaque so you can't see through it. You'd probably have to have, like, a black background or something, I don't know. But you can understand the problem. It's transparent, and that's just a little bit too exploitative. I guess if you happen to like it, you can vote yes or no for it, but I don't think that would be allowed, so I'm just saying so. Maybe someone could have that as a Twitch drop in the future. Let's not do that. Anyway, so just wanted to talk about that. Here we have the security Kraken garage door. This is made by Mr. Verona. Beware of the, what's that say? The Kraken? Oh no. Well, don't knock on the door, it might get you. As you can see, it glows in the dark, and if you happen to like this garage door, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have a continuation of a large wood box that we had accepted earlier this year. This is made by Oasis and Schumer, and you might be a little bit confused. You might sit there and say, what do you mean? Do you not remember the Industrial Craft large wood box that we had accepted back in February? Well, I'll show you. Here we go. It was in the first week of February, as you can see, and it's not exactly looking super great at the moment. Now, if I look at all their acceptances this year, it's just basically been chemical burn. So, look, if we see this garage door being accepted by default, we might see a bit of a interest back on this again. You might see maybe a few being bought out, but because this is the only industrial craft deployable that we currently have, I don't think we're going to see a massive buyout, a huge surge in demand. It's a little bit awkward, but I'm sure you can understand. If we had more, that would be better. So potentially, if we do see that garage door being accepted, and then they make more deployables and then they get accepted, all the better for this large wood box. But at the moment, just one skin isn't going to make a massive difference, all right? But you could consider investing into likes of that if you want to. It's pretty cheap right now, so the choice is yours, but I'm not exactly super enthusiastic, but we shall see. We shall see. So, best of luck to you, Oasis and Schumer. And the last deployable skin to talk about today will be Celitra's Cat and Dog Gang Double Door. Now, if you can remember last week, we did have the likes of those sheepman doors. You could have either picked the dog door or the cat door. Well, now you can have both. Peace has been accomplished between the felines and the canines, and if you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. And with that, it's the last deployable skin of this week. Which one was your favourite? Which one do you reckon has the best potential chance in being accepted in a future Rust store? Feel free to sit there and comment it. I'm going to take a real quick drink, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about the weapons and the tools of this week. Also, real quick, I do have a fan to my side. It's really hot. I tried to record this without it and I was dripping with sweat. If you happen to have heard that during this video, my apologies. But I've angled this to a point where I don't think you'll be able to hear it, so I'm trying my best. Right, people, hello, it's time for the weapons and tools. Let's get started. We've got two rock skins right here. We have a melon. That's a bit of a dry looking melon. I'm just going to say that. You could probably still get some juice out of it. So yes, this is the melon rock made by Novarum. And if you happen to like melons and rocks, well, what are you waiting for? Please consider voting yes or no. And then we have the lump of coal rock. Get a good look at this. It's coal. Do you know what? You should have saved that for Christmas time. If that's not accepted, save it for Christmas as a version 2. A lot of naughty children need some coal. And a lot of naughty children play Rust, so Firefly, Hanetta, that's just a recommendation. But yep, if you want to have a big lump of coal, well, consider voting yes or no. Alright, we've got Spinal Sword, Primal Hammer, then we got some tools. Yes, we do. Right, so here is the Spinal Sword. Looks a little bit awkward. Oh, God. Where did you pull this out from? Yeah, it's a salvage sword. Get a good look at that. Interesting look of transparency there. This is made by Mr. Fuff. And if you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have the Primal Hammer made by JJ. So over the past few weeks, he has been submitting some caveman style skins. Let's see if he could potentially get this hammer being accepted. It's perfectly fine for what it is. Let's see if that works out well. We have not had a marketable hammer skin being accepted for like 18 months now. The last one to be accepted was back in March of 2022. Yeah, the beginning of March, it was the Toxic Hammer. So, best of luck to you, Mr. JJ. Then we have the Sushi Stone Hatchet with the pickaxe. Get a good look at this. Do you happen to like sushi? Do you have rock solid sushi? Do you like to whack it against rocks and get ore and whatnot? Well, we got the perfect skin for you. Right, so if you happen to like this, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Anubis Dunk. Now we have an interesting collection to talk about, the No Mercy collection, the biggest collection in Rust, that being the collection with the most acceptances overall compared to all of the other skins, collections. Anyway, let's just move on. So, earlier this year we did see an attempt of seeing this potentially being accepted. Didn't work out very well, unfortunately, but here's the second attempt. This is made by Bad Trip and Hulk. Do you like the No Mercy collection? Do you like the style of it, the sleek, cool-looking aesthetic? Well, if we were to see those tools being accepted, would we see a massive impact on the likes of this collection? No, because the collection already has tons of skins. I don't think tools are going to be that much of a difference for this. Because like I said, and I've said it already many times already, quite a lot of skins are now suffering. It's awkward, but it's the autumn fall seasonal dip. It happens every single year. I don't think the likes of tools are going to make a drastic difference to all of these skins, because we've basically already got all the clothing and armour, several different deployables, many different weapons, so I don't think it's going to have that much of a big impact. But if you happen to like it, keep an eye out for it. Consider voting yes or no. Let's see if we could see some even more No Mercy skins being accepted. Alright, now we're going to move on to the likes of the handguns, and we've got a very interesting skin right there. You probably spotted it. So, yeah, let's just jump straight to it. Here is the random yoker. This is made by Vase, Sinanata, and Hanushka. What makes it random? If you look up to it real close, you can notice it's basically embroidered. I guess the word's to say, embroidered, yeah. There's loads of dice all over it. So, is it your lucky day? Oh, I get it now. Because it's an yoker. You don't know when it's going to shoot. I get it now. Okay, that's actually a cool idea. Right. Is it your lucky day, punk? Is it? Wait, one second. There you go. Okay, I get it now. That's actually pretty neat. So if you happen to like that idea, please consider voting yes or no. Right, Shadow Revolver. It's pitch black. I can't see a thing. Do we aim down the sight? That would be cool, Mr. McQuarrie. I do like Revolver. Oh. No aim down the sight. Oh, okay, kind of. It would be nice if we could get first person, but I do see there is a red aim sight right there, so that would be very nice. I do like revolvers. I very much would like to see another revolver being accepted. McQuarrie, let's see if that works out very nicely. Best of luck to you, McQuarrie. And if you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Right. I did say I really do like revolvers, and I'd very much like to see one being accepted. This is very, very, very good timing for Mr. Slanosta, because as we have already pointed out, we have this on the horizon. And what's been fairly successful, I can't speak English anymore. What's been fairly successful throughout all of this year, why, that would be the likes of the Redemption Collection. Why did I go over here to do... It doesn't matter. Yes. So I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see the likes of this collection getting a decent amount of these bought out, because people are going to want to flex with their new gun racks. They're going to need some interesting looking skins to put on their walls and whatnot. Full collections of many weapons. And the timing of this, as I said at the very beginning of this video, I get the feeling Face Puncher's going to really probably end up digging deep to pull out some weapon skins that weren't accepted before from notable collections. Well, they don't have to dig that deep for the likes of the Redemption Collection, do they? So, yeah, they've now got a revolver. By default, revolvers are very good because they just seem to retain their value. We don't see many of them being accepted. They always do get usage because, you're going to go through the tiers eventually, and of course, people do like to roam around with revolvers because if you lose it, well, it's not the end of the world. I could easily get the resources to make another one. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. I'm feeling very optimistic for the likes of it. But we're here to sit here and talk about, right, so is it probably good to jump in and, buy some redemption skins? So, talking about this and bringing up this, you might notice that this whole collection only consists of weapons. This is also a bit of an anomaly, because usually when a collection only consists of weapons, it tends to not end up very nice. It usually ends up in a negative. But this collection's been in demand. People like it. Very useful aim sights, especially like the MP5. Oh yeah. But let me just get this across. If gun racks really do take off, I wouldn't be surprised if all of this potentially goes up a price by default. So I don't think the revolver in itself is going to be the big impact, but it would probably be the gun racks. But I wouldn't be surprised if the revolver is accepted, making the collection even bigger. And I did point this out earlier. When a collection gets even more accepted, the collection as a whole usually gets invested into more. That LR300 right there keeps getting more valuable because it was the very first skin to be accepted, and it came out like months before this, so this has like the least amount of sales, and all the better to it. It's valuable simply because we got all of these other skins being accepted. Now, it has gone down in price a little bit, because of course all skins are going down in price a fair bit, but get them whilst they're cheap, because I don't think they're going to be cheap forever. Alright then, so back over to here. The Revolver, aim down the sight, useful red aim sight, very nice, cool cranberry red design. I think a lot of people will be appreciating that. Good job there, Slanosta. Are we potentially going to see the likes of a semi-automatic pistol and a Python? That couldn't hurt. I mean, yeah, you've got many other weapons, but we need more handguns, so consider doing that, yes. Maybe in a Yoka. Nah, we'll just move on. Okay, cool. Right, so here is the Elder's signature sap, and it glows in the dark, apparently. Do we have anything showing off the glow in the dark? Oh, it's the actual body of the skin. Okay, cool. So the body of the skin glows in the dark. Alright, well, best as. You're still looking to get your first ever skin accepted. Potentially, could this be the one? We shall see. We shall see. If you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. That was all the handguns. Let's now start talking about the the SMGs, because of course, you know, got the MP5 and the Thompsons and whatnot. Right. So here is the Blood Moon SMG. This is made by Life Saint Art and Hermit. Get a good look at this. Does that look cool? Do you like it? Well, please consider voting yes or no if you'd like to see this being accepted. A look at the aim sight. What's the colour of it? It is it looks like it's just brown or black, which, you know, that's fine. No issue with that. So, yep, best of luck to you too. If you like it, please consider voting yes or no. Right, here is the Lattice SMG. This is made by Sean Mick. Get a good look at this. It's got a pretty cool looking design to it. Are you looking for another custom SMG? Well, aim down the sight. What do we see? It's a golden tip. Yep, a golden aim sight right there. If you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no for the Lattice SMG. Then we have the Fashion Verdict MP5. This is made by Drywall. It is very red. It is very pink. It is very in your face, exactly like fashion. And if you happen to like this style and a choice of the colours for this, well, maybe this might be the MP5 for you. Please consider voting yes or no, and best of luck to you, Mr. Drywall. Then we have the Stellar Midnight MP5. Get a good look at that. Looking very nice. Looking very cool. Yep, aim down the sight. Red aim sight right there. Very nice. I think people would appreciate that. So, NX Blur, good work. And if you happen to like this, make sure to consider voting yes or no. And don't forget, you could always add a nice comment as well. Right, this is a continuation. Mr. Tony, he lives! Yes! You might not be fully aware, but Tony recently, very randomly, got his M39 being accepted. What's so special? Basically, he made that 4 years ago, and then in one of the recent Rust stores that we had, this was randomly accepted. So Tony, he's alive again. Is his account private still? It is, but he came back to life. He said thank you to the people. Apparently, no, not in this one. He said thank you in this skin here. So yeah, Kevlar is alive. It's a collection now, it seems, or it's, you know, there's attempts for it to happen. So yeah, he thanked people, and yep, he's back. He took a 4-year break, got a random acceptance, now he's back in the game. With help from Mr. Odyssey, we have the Kevlar MP5. Do you happen to like it? Do you reckon it looks nice? And here we have to talk about the likes of that M39. Was it last week or the week before? I will be reminded, it's there. It's 30% up. Damn, I was not expecting that, but I guess people appreciate the design of it. Plus, it's very unlikely we'll see another M39 being accepted. Maybe it's also a case that hardly any people bought it. It didn't have the best of support, but it's still holding up and it's still looking pretty good. And you know what? If we did see that Kevlar MP5 being accepted, maybe, just maybe, it might work out very nicely for it in the future. So, yeah, maybe that M39 might be working out very nicely if this also gets accepted. So, if you think this has got a good chance of being accepted, maybe it's a pretty interesting idea to consider investing into the M39. The choice is yours. I'm mumbling a little bit too much. I should just quickly drink some more water. Look at the gif of this MP5 whilst I drink. Do you like the sheen, the design of that? Do you like this SMG? So it's a little bit awkward, but I think I don't know how to pronounce your name properly, and I'm very sorry. Is it Milio or Milho? I don't know. That rhymed. I didn't intend for that to happen. Let's just keep going. So, this is the next Chameleon skin. It's a version 2 of the MP5. Not surprised by that. I wouldn't be surprised if next week we see the version 2 of the LR300. But exactly like the Redemption Collection, if we just look over to here, current week, I do believe the AK is looking like it's going to end up with maybe around 30,000 sales. Basically exactly like the Thompson. I do think we very likely could see that MP5 being accepted very soon, especially with the likes of the gun racks on the horizon. This seems to be a fairly in-demand collection that people do appreciate. The sheen, the shine, people appreciate it, people love it, people like it, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see potentially a very nice full collection of the whole Chameleon collection, especially with the likes of guns, because we need more gun collections to make the gun racks look a whole lot more appealing. Point has been made. Useful red aim sight. Looks nice. Do you like it? Please consider voting yes or no. Milho Frito and Sakadis Milias, best of luck to you. And let's now move on. Right. Oh, and back over to here real quickly. So, will things work out for the likes of this? Basically, I get the feeling the Chameleon collection is just going to emulate exactly what we see with the likes of the Redemption collection. As a whole, the collection would retain its value. But I do feel like when we hit around post-Christmas time, that's where it all starts to really flourish. Because when loads of people return to play the game, they see the collection, it'll get bought out, stocks will disappear, prices will go up. That's where it makes its move. So as of now, I think at best they're just going to probably retain their value. So the more we see, the better invested it is. And so, yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Let's take a look at its advanced Thompson. As you can see, aim down the sight. What is there? It's a normal black tip. Okay, normal black aim sight. So this is made by Deployables. Would you like to see a brand new turquoise green blue Thompson being introduced? Well, please consider voting yes or no for the advanced Thompson. Best of luck to you, Mr. Deployables. Cool. Then we have the Panther pump shotgun. This is a continuation of the Panther collection. This isn't an SMG, but oh well, I've got it here in front of me. Yes. So, Panther collection, let's go take a look at you. Panther collection, how are things looking at the moment? Not the best. It's alright for the AK, that came out 6 years ago. But for all of these, things have been a little bit awkward. But again, there's a fairly decent chance for this because it's a gun, and what have we just talked about? We need more guns, we need more skins, so yeah. If this were to be accepted, could this potentially give the rest of the skins a bit of a boost? No. Unfortunately, this is the other side of the coin where when the collection only consists of weapons, it doesn't seem to be holding up. And I will repeat, the AK-47 is doing very nicely because this was accepted 6 years ago. It was a very random skin continuation that caused this to suddenly get a lot of interest and popularity and getting accepted. Yeah, you get the point. But investing into these isn't exactly going to make the world change if this was accepted. So, okay, so I don't think so. That's the answer. Alright, we've got a few more weapons to go through. I'm trying to make sure that we get this video done within an hour, but I don't think this is going to be accomplished. But if it's close to an hour, that's probably good enough. So let's go through the remaining skins, the weapon skins. Here we have the SAR Drip. Get a good look at all of these colours, looking very nice. This is made by Legacy and Lifter. That's the model. Here's the colours. Do you like it? Oh, it's dripping a little bit. But that's the name of the skin. Wow. All right. Aim down the sight. What do we see? A very nice, helpful, light green aim sight. And it seems to have a very faint black outline, which should be helpful in grassy environments, so that's good. I think people will be appreciating that. If you happen to like this design, please consider voting yes or no. And then we have the charcoal Sketch SAR. This is obviously a continuation of the MP5 that we just had accepted this week. Made by Upor and Hyper Monster. Get a good look at this. Do we aim down the sight? Yes, we do. And it's the exact same thing of what we just saw a minute ago. We have the light brown colour for the aim sight, but it's got a faint black outline. So that should be good for basically every single environment. And if we just go over to here, we have this charcoal Sketch MP5. It's only done about 7,000 sales, but unfortunately that right there is an MP5. And by default, if you take a look at all the MP5s that have come out so far this year, things aren't exactly looking super great for them. Nope. Yep. It's an issue all based on the fact of the weapon itself. People don't seem to appreciate the MP5. And it is unloved. And why would people want to decorate it in fancy, cool-looking skins if the weapon is unloved? So, yeah, you get the idea there. So, I don't think a SAR skin's going to make it do a whole lot better. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Right then, so here's the Lazy Panda AK-47, the first AK-47 that we're going to take a look at. Quick look there, aim down the sight, we have a useful red aim sight. If we just get a good look at its appearance, this is made by Mr. Sadist. He loves his bamboo, and maybe he loves you too, but do you love it? Well, you've got to consider voting yes or no for the Lazy Panda AK-47. Get a good look at both sides. Cute little panda. If you're a fan of it, consider voting for it. Best of luck to you, Mr. Sadist. Right. Here we have the multicolour AR, version 2, made by GBG. Seems to shine quite nicely in the GIF. Get a quick look at it in-game. Here it is on its side. Quite colourful, interesting pattern, interesting design. Get a good look at that. Aim down the sight. What do we see? It's a normal black aim sight. Cool, cool. Right. So, if you happen to like what you see, please consider voting yes or no for the multicolour AR version 2. Then we have the plated AK-47, only 2 images to take a look at. Very grounded in terms of its design, but, you know, the plated appearance and whatnot does look pretty cool. You know what, it kind of reminds me of the Redemption Collection, but without all the cranberry red, which I don't hate. I do kind of like that. If you want a more grounded design for your AK-47s, why not take a look at the likes of this plated AK-47? I wanted to get this image. Now, unfortunately, we haven't got a good look at the aim sight. So I'm not sure if it's got like a red colour or black colour or white colour. I don't know. That's unlucky. So, yeah, do consider showing us an aim down the sight image for every single weapon skin. That's to all skin creators. People do appreciate that. So if you happen to like this, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have the AK-47 Magma, made by Xenon. Get a good look at it. Yep, so that's all the bump map there. Whoa. And here's what it looks like with all the colour. Yeah, right. Molten. Hot to the touch. And here to shoot your head off. A normal black aim sight. No issue with that. It's pretty cool if you happen to like that. If you need something to just keep your arms warm, please consider voting yes or no for the AK-47 Magma. Then we have the Trust Me AK-47. You can see how they developed the design here. So this was made by Mr. Universe Kid. Seems he likes, what is this? Is that a rat? Or is that a sheep? I think it's a sheep. So wolf in sheep's clothing. Trust me. Ah, okay. I see. If you look at it a little bit closer, you can see it's got like a grey body, but only the top of the sheep on top of it. No, little lamb, don't trust them. So, cute little idea there. That's a cute little idea. We don't have an aim down the sight, but we do have this, and it seems to be a regular black aim sight. So if you happen to like this approach, if you think it's a creative idea, please consider voting yes or no for Universe Kids Trust Me AK-47. Then we have the Wild Boar AK-47 made by Freddy and Krueger. You can see how their design developed over time. Looking pretty cool. Let's get a good look at that art. Let's get a good look at it next to a boar. Let's get a good look at your hand, reloading. Aim down the sight, what do we see? A black aim sight. Right, so if you like boars and if you like this, please consider voting yes or no for the Wild Boar AK-47. Best of luck to you two. Then we have the Firestorm AK-47. It's blazing. Get a good look at that. So this is made by Sir Q and Himic. So Sir Q, notably the skin creator of the likes of the From Hell collection, and Himic with his recent Reptile Hunter collection. Get a good look at this AK-47. What do you see? It's pretty toasty, yes. Now, the aim sight, I believe, is red. I think, yeah, I think that is dark red. So dark red aim sight. Looks pretty cool. Oh, yeah, you can just notice it about here. Yeah, that is red. That is red. I have to use the spinning. But yeah, if you happen to like this, please consider voting yes or no. Maybe it might turn into a brand new weapon collection. Ooh. And then, no, this isn't last. This is a continuation of the banana collection. We're going to shoot you from afar whilst enjoying our bananas. Yes, it's the banana bolt-action rifle. It's ever so bright in yellow and full of potassium. Let's go take a look at the banana collection. Actually, no, I can't do that because it's a little bit bugged on scmm.app. So if I could just scroll up and find the last banana skin to be accepted. What was that? Was it a week ago? Or was it in Complete the Sets? I'm just needing to remember. No, it was definitely last week. So last week we had the Elanana. That is correct. And if I just click Debski's hit, right. So it's basically just a weapon collection, and unfortunately it's all in the negative. So if we saw another weapon skin being accepted, would it magically cause all the other weapon skins to go up in price? No, I don't think so. Banana collection's in a weird spot. Maybe we'll see a nice turnaround when we have post-Christmas later this year. So, yeah. It is unfortunate, but just look at it, and I'm sure it's not too hard to understand. And then we have a continuation of that burrito bag that we had accepted not too long ago. We have the Burrito Launcher. Are you hungry, in desperate need of a quick meal? Well, just get shot with the Burrito Launcher. Yes, the most explosive, tasty treats being shot directly at your face and at your base. Hey, that's a great catchphrase. Diva Dan, you owe me a lot of money. Right. Right, so if you are a fan of the Burrito Launcher, please consider voting yes or no. Diva Dan, seriously, you owe me a lot of money. I just sold that perfectly. Alright, so anyway, yeah, so we have the burrito bagger here, and unfortunately it hasn't done a very good job of retaining its value. But if we do see a whole lot more burrito skins being made, well, there you are. Maybe it could work out a fair bit better for this. There's only 34 of them on the market. I think the rocket launcher could give it a bit of a boost, but there's hardly any quantity. Doesn't seem like people buying tons of them. Maybe the interest just isn't really there. But more and more skins being made, more and more skins potentially being accepted, all the better for it. But we shall see. Maybe we just get like a burrito clothing and armor set made as well. We shall see. But it's nice to see a continuation, Diva Dan, and that is the last weapon and tool skin to talk about today. So which one was your favourite? Which one was the skin that you think has the best chance of potentially being accepted? Feel free to comment. And do not forget, in the description of this video, the collection link is right there and freely accessible. You can click it right now, go through all the skins that we've already talked about. You can vote yes or no if you like them or not, and also consider offering a nice, concise, straight-to-the-point comment that could potentially help out the skin creators, or just simply say something very nice in approval of the skin to keep them nice, happy, and motivated. We have now surpassed the 1 hour time. Unfortunate, but you know what? I've been enjoying this video, and I don't think it was too slow, so let's just take a real quick drink and we'll talk about the clothing and armor. Right, gentlemen, it's time to talk about the clothing and armor. Here we have the Caesar crown cap. This is a very, very, very strange one, because that's a cap. But where's the cap mesh? Well, it's transparent. To make it look just like Caesar, the Roman crown is a little bit awkward to talk about, because wasn't it all just like a wreath or something? Yeah, it's made out of gold, a bit more appropriate for like a modern crown, I guess you could say. Interesting approach, interesting design, but are you a fan of it? Do you think we need this in the game? Please consider voting yes or no, and best of luck to you, Mr. 1SQ. Then we have a lot of primitive skins. I kid you not, for some strange reason, everybody thought, I'm going to make a primitive skin this week. So let's just go show off all of these ponchos, bandanas, and boonie hats. Right then, so first up to serve, we have this fried egg hat made by Mr. Jessen, but it doesn't come all by itself. We also have the poncho that accompanies it. Do you like your eggs? In this, well, for the poncho, only the egg whites, it seems. But yes, if you are a fan of eggs and you want to wear eggs, well, have I got news for you? We got the fried egg hat, boonie hat, and poncho made by Jessin and Xenia Paris. Well, it's good protein, and hey, you deserve to look goofy because you are goofy. You like pixels too much. Anyway, so that's it right there. If you like it, please consider voting yes or no. But it does have a lot of competition this week, because we also have the foil poncho. Yep, get a good look at this. This is made by Algorithm. Doesn't it come with... No, it's all by itself. This one's all by itself. So this is the foil poncho. It's all by itself. It's made out of foil. Probably put it on top of your head as well. So, yep. If you're a fan of that, please consider voting yes or no if you like the foil poncho. Right, then we have the disco poncho, which is somewhat similar in appearance, but it does come with the likes of the disco bandana as well. I've got the hiccups randomly. I only drank one sip and now I've got the hiccups. Sorry. But yes, get a good look at this. Do you like the appearance? Do you like what you see? I don't know what the red bit is. Is that supposed to be your heart? I wouldn't know. Maybe it's just a bit of discoloration. That's all the images that I can show. This was made by Mr. Pepper Carl, if you happen to like what you see. And don't forget, so far we've had quite a decent amount of disco skins being submitted. Maybe, just maybe, we could potentially see a disco skin being accepted in the near future, but it's in your hands. Please consider voting yes or no, if you like it or not. Best of luck to you, Mr. Pepper Carl. Right, Lullaby. So over the past few weeks we have seen quite a decent amount of clothing and armor skins being made. We're now delving into the primitives. We have the poncho and the bandana right there. A dark green coloration. Get a good look at that. That's what it looks like in game. Do you like the appearance of this? Now this seems to have a bit of a tint to it. It seems to have some sort of like brown tint, so I'm not sure if this green is the correct color green. You can probably tell what I'm talking about. Maybe it was like sunset when they took this picture. Yeah, if you like it, please consider voting yes or no for the Lullaby, hide poncho, and bandana. Cool. So best of luck to you, Stapitch. Then we got the ice bandana, which also pairs up with the ice boonie hat. So get a good look at this. So I guess this was supposed to be made in reference to last year's ice set. Do you remember with the throne and the tier 3 armor and the AK-47? Because I can see it right there. Well, do you like that? Do you reckon it'll pair up with it? If you made it in reference to that DLC, shouldn't you have like worn it with the tier 3 armor? I'm just saying, bingo. That probably could have helped out a lot. Especially with trying to get the idea across that this was made in reference to it. I'm not sure if it is, but that might potentially have confirmed it if that was your intentions. I'm just saying. So, if you're boiling hot right now, like me, who needs the fan on whilst he talks about skins, then why not consider voting yes or no for the likes of the ice bandana and boonie hat. Best of luck to you, Mr. Bingo. Right, and here we have an actual continuation of a skin that was accepted this past week. Yes, we have, over to here, the Pita Poncho right here. Currently selling at 99 cents. Isn't exactly getting bought out a ton. But what we do see here is Monomic Man with a continuation. And you know what, Monomic Man? I never mentioned this because I didn't realise, because I honestly thought you had a skin accepted before. This was actually Monomic Man's first ever skin to be accepted, so congratulations to you. Also, it was the last Rust store of the month, so I should have realised this was potentially going to happen, but I didn't realise. I honestly thought you had skins accepted before. But it's your first, so congratulations to you. And if you think this potentially could be accepted, do you reckon we'll see the likes of the poncho going up in demand and up in price? I do think so, yes I do. Clothing and armour skins tend to be the best with this. And we have seen instances where initially a brand new piece of like bandanas or ponchos getting released and not doing well initially, and then when new skins are accepted, suddenly it surges in demand up in price and whatnot. That was the pizza collection. At the end of last year, we had the pizza poncho with the bandana. They sold not that much. People weren't too fussed about them. Then the next week, we had like more primitive pizza stuff being accepted, like the boonie hat and something else. Suddenly, everybody wanted it. So yeah, there was a massive surge in demand for the likes of the poncho and the bandana. Could we potentially see the exact same thing happening with the likes of this? I can't really guarantee anything. So maybe Face Punch loves Pita. Maybe we'll see some more Pita. All the best to you, Mr. Monomic Man. So if you like this, please consider voting yes or no. And we shall see if we will see a surge in demand for that poncho. Right. Now we have some burlap stuff to talk about, which is technically also primitive, but shut up, I'm getting there. Yes, we have a version 2 of the banana leaf burlap. So, like, a week or two ago, Multi-Name again, he made this, and I thought that was fine, but then he made a version 2 instantly. Maybe they weren't super satisfied with what they made. I don't know, but you can get a good look at that. Do you reckon that's the best camouflage? Is that useful? Is it helpful? Get a good look at all of these images. You have to question. But by default, it doesn't matter, based on the fact that if we do see that being accepted, we've just made a big fuss about this. More primitive skins, the likes of this poncho and this bandana definitely will go up in price. There'll be a massive increase in demand and a very nice, comfortable rise in price. Yes, yes, yes. So let's see if that works out very nicely for that. Cool. So if you like it, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Multi-Name. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. All right. You can tell me if you really want me to say it correctly, or if you enjoy your nickname. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure everyone's happy, okay? Military Burlap. Hello! So, this is made by Mr. Robstar. Yes, yes, yes. Get a good look at all of that. That's a very nice showcase of all of it together there. So, we have Military Burlap shirt, pants, and the head wrap. That is a head wrap, right? Yeah, it's a head wrap. So, all of that combined could be very useful early game primitive clothing for the likes of roaming around in the desert. So, that's definitely the intention of the design. Do you like what you see? I reiterate, it's not hoodie and pants, it's burlap. Burlap shirt, pants, and head wrap. So, yes, we're going to have to take a look at the military collection now. And like what I said earlier, we have like 5 different military collections. Oh, God, here we go. I think it's this one. Robstar? Yeah, perfect. Robstar's military collection. So, would the likes of burlap have a massive impact on the likes of this? I don't know. See, earlier this year, for the Maze Complete the Sets, we had that military hoodie and pants being accepted. Quite an excessive amount, unfortunately. However, the likes of the Tier 3 and the kilt definitely went up in demand by a lot. I don't know if more clothing could potentially still have a positive impact on the likes of this armour. I don't know if it's going to help out this. I don't know. But, who knows? Potentially. But I wouldn't really cross my fingers and hope for it. I wouldn't really invest all my money towards that. By itself, I think this could work out very nicely in the future. We did earlier this year have some burlap clothing accepted. It was for the snow environment. What was it called? Arctic Protection Collection burlaps. And right now, that's still holding up its value quite nicely. So that would be a nice thing to see. If you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Robstar. Then we do have an interesting continuation. It is the high-quality metal gloves. Yep, just by themselves. High-quality roadside gloves are right there in front of you. Are you a fan of it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Well, it's in your hands. You've got to go ahead and vote yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Diaz. But we do have to talk about what potentially could happen to it. Now, where am I going here? I think it was last week. It was last week. Yes, it was. Okay, so we literally just had the Tier 3 armour, okay? And unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be retaining its value. But a pair of gloves, if that were to be accepted, could that potentially cause a nice increase in price? Yes, but purely based on the anticipation that even more will appear after that. Earlier this year, we had the Hardsuit collection, and randomly, we had the boots and gloves accepted before, it was before Tier 2, and even that still caused the price to go up, the demand to increase and the price to go up, because people were anticipating even more. So yes, if this were to be accepted, people will be rubbing their hands and thinking, surely hoodie and pants or Tier 2 is going to be next. And that's what people do intend to care more about. But then again, you know, people do want to use their roadside gloves as well. So yeah, it does work out quite nicely for it. So I'm actually surprised he didn't make boots with this, but it's his choice. But yeah, I do expect an increase in demand, an increase in price for that Tier 3 armour if we did see those gloves being accepted. But it wouldn't last forever, because, you know, people still want to see those other core pieces, the Tier 2 and the hoodie and pants. So, yeah. Right, we do have a very interesting core piece right here. We've got some Tier 2 armour right here, and then we've got quite a lot of Tier 3 to talk about. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a bit of a talking point when we do our abnormal buy orders tomorrow, because we have a very interesting jacket skin that was accepted just this past week, and we've instantly got a continuation. So this is made by Cubist and Mothcat, and as you can see right here, for the current Rust store, the jacket, the Ghillie suit jacket, currently has 32,500 sales, bare minimum. Okay, so we're going to sit here and we're going to have to question, how might things work out for the likes of that jacket? I can't sit here forever. It's definitely going to be a very awkward thing that I'm going to have to think about. This is currently a skin that's currently available in the Rust store, but tomorrow's abnormal buy orders. So how about we focus more in regards to doing our buy orders tomorrow, look at the support afterwards, and then make a decision whether we want to jump in and actually buy them or do a stronger buy order. You get the idea. But a lot of people haven't been super enthusiastic about this when they wore it in game. They said it's too dark and whatnot. But it doesn't matter. If you still see a continuation being introduced, people will still jump into it. there will still be a spike in demand, spike in price. So if this were to be accepted like very quickly, you might see this magically go up in price regardless, because there'll still be an increase in demand. It's a weird position to be in, but it's optimistic for it, because we've instantly seen a continuation. So best of luck to you, Cubist and Mothcat. And are you going to make even more? Are you going to make even more? So, always read the comments. Always read the comments. Alright, I didn't actually know that was going to be there. It just happened to be very nice to have that right there. Cool. Anyway, Spraycan. Now, you might not realise this, but it's made by Lottie. And what does that mean? Well, do you not remember the Spraycan skins that we've had accepted over the past couple years? Yes, we've had quite a lot of deployables. So let's go talk about that real quickly. But first up, we have this Spraycan Tier 2. Potentially, could this be a brand new collection? What do you think? It's reminding me of the bombing set and the Rust Vibe set, which was like graffiti all over clothing and armour. And you know what? Couldn't hurt to have another set like that. Colourful, bright-ish, ish. But anyway, let's go take a look at the Spraycan collection. Spraycan. I didn't need to press enter. There you go. Right, Spraycan collection. Seems to be holding up quite alright, but it is basically all deployables. But if we were to see clothing and armour being accepted, could that work out very nicely for this? Yes. Yes, yeah, oh yes, I do think it would work out very nicely. Because you get to wear the thing in the base that has all the same thing. Wow. I do think it would work out very nicely, but we're also in this very weird period where skin prices are going down by default. Well, people still like it, you know, still working out very nicely for it. Okay, here's my answer. When times are better, I do expect these to get bought out a little bit more than expected, because it would pair up very nicely with the clothing and armour. I'm optimistic for it. I already own a bunch of this already, so I'm kind of looking forward to that if it were to be accepted. And it does look nice, I will give it that. It does look nice. Couldn't hurt to have another collection to look forward to every single week, so all the best to you, Mr. Lottie. If you really want to jump in and invest into this, I mean, look, by default, I still think this would go up in price around post-Christmas time anyway, so I guess it couldn't hurt if you needed something that could at least fall back onto that, so all the better for you. Yeah. Right then, so with that, we have a whole bunch of Tier 3 armour to take a look at, but none of them are continuations, I believe, so this would probably be fairly straightforward, so let's just get through this. Oh no, I never... Okay, Chilag, congratulations, you get to be the very last skin. I didn't move that back in place. That is my fault. I will have to make sure I fix that afterwards. But let's talk about the Tier 3 armour for now. Here is the Madness metal face mask with the chest plate, and I'll be honest with you, looks like a budget blackout set. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think a lot of people would appreciate a cheaper version of blackout. But then again, we've already had the Pirate collection and whatnot, haven't we? And the Dragon Rage collection, and the Black Gold collection. So, hey... It's up to face punch, but yeah, a nice grounded approach made by Vlek and Igor, the creators of the Forest Raiders collection and the Desert Raiders collection. So I guess you could have Nighttime Raiders. Ha 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 ha. I'm surprised you didn't do some sort of joke based on that. But anyway, best of luck to you too. If you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Then we have the Snake chest plate and face mask, which only has one image, made by Hashaki. Do you like the snake skin pattern design? Do you like it? I mean, that's all I can show, unfortunately. So, if you happen to like it, please consider voting yes or no. Right, here we have the Void Mercenary Tier 3, made by Wirecat and Kusel. Get a good look at this. Looking pretty cool. Not really sure what I'm looking at, to be honest. I don't really know. It's a bit freaky, I'll give it that. If that's the intention, then fair enough. You achieved that, but I don't really know what I'm looking at. What are the references? It doesn't mention it. Well, if you are a fan of that, please consider voting yes or no for the Void Mercenary, chestplate, and face mask. The Tier 3. Right. So, you got an American football design right here. You got the Football Metal Tier 3 white version, and you also have the red version. Yes, you could potentially have two of the same. Which team are you on? White or red? Ha ha ha. Goofy idea. Couldn't hurt. I feel like that actually could We should potentially have that for Twitch Rivals. That would look cool. But hang on a minute, that's a face mask, isn't it? Yes, it is. And it's got transparency. Huh. Is that going to be allowed? Is that going to be alright? I'll be honest with you. It still covers your face enough. But from a distance, does it vanish? I know a lot of people have been making a bit of a fuss over a face mask skin that was accepted quite a few years back, that from a distance it doesn't look like you're wearing a face mask, and people like to deceive others, so we shall see. That would definitely need to that would definitely require us to take a look at it in game and whatnot. But yeah, if you happen to like it, Mr. Zinc, I think you made a pretty interesting looking tier 3 armor here, and I think people would appreciate it. But which color do you prefer? Feel free to comment. Are you on team white or team red? And with that, best of luck to you, Mr. Zinc. And then awkwardly, because you did submit this very late, Chilag, that's your own fault, we have this black glass garage door, which was at the very end of my list because he submitted this like maybe 2 hours before I made this video. So it's your fault. Your fault. Anyway, black glass garage door made by Mr. Chilag. If you happen to appreciate and like this design, please consider voting yes or no. Sounds good? Perfect. That was all of the skins this week, and I thought I could wrap this up within about an hour, but no, we went up to an hour and 20 minutes, which, I'll be honest with you, is kind of disappointing. I thought I was faster, but then again, I did have quite a bit of talking points. So at the very least, at least we had a good conversation. At least we talked about something, not just sitting there saying, oh, that looks nice, oh, that looks pretty, oh, look, it's shiny. No, we had proper conversations and talks. There was quite a lot of continuations this week, especially compared to last week. So, you know, give me some slack. All right. So, out of all of these skins, which one of these was your favourite? Which one of these skins potentially could be accepted in a future Rust store? Feel free to go ahead and comment. Like, you're more than allowed to. And do not forget, in the description of this video, you can go see that this link, this collection link, is perfectly accessible to all of you, and you can click it and go through all the skins that we just talked about, and you can vote yes or no for the ones that you liked or didn't like. But remember, at the very least, offer some feedback if you can, and maybe offer some nice words if you're a really big fan of the skin that you just saw. So that's basically it. That is this week's Rust Workshop skin checks. So I feel like the format that I did is fine. I didn't dwell on certain skins for too long. I dwelled on certain skins if there's a good thing to talk about. I definitely had to bring up this because, you know, this is this update is going to be pretty meaty. And of course, you should expect an early Rust store this week. So yeah, when there's a force wipe, when there is an update with a patch with notable things being introduced, for sure, 100%, you should expect an early Rust store. So just wanted to point that out. And like I said, do take a look at TGG's top picks. Do look at his video as well, that German guy on YouTube. Look at the top picks, look at all the skins in game, get a good look at how they look, and maybe you'll get a good idea of what value you might put down for them in regards to buy orders, or whether you actually want to buy them. You get the idea. So yeah, do consider watching the video, and yeah, that's basically it. That's everything that I needed to talk about. So hopefully for here on now, videos will be a whole lot more efficient, straight to the point, and, you know, sticking with the topic rather than dwelling on silly things. But unfortunately, I'm very good at randomly talking about silly things that I just happen to see. It's a weird superpower. I'm very good at talking for a very long time, so as long as I get to drink some water. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked any of the skins that we showed off today. And yeah, also do not forget, we also have Twitch drops this week, starting on Thursday. Literally, it was at 8 o'clock UK time. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. 8 o'clock UK time, we're going to have those Twitch drops. All you got to do is just go to Google, type in Twitch Face Punch, and yeah, they're all there. They are all here. 5 streamer skins, 3 generic skins to chase after. But if you watch these streamers to get their streamer skins by default, you'll also get the generic drops. So yeah, it's all there. Just make sure that you have a Twitch account linked up with your Steam account to be able to get those skins. And that's it. That's everything. That's done. It's all good. So catch you later. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely week. And let's see how the buy orders are tomorrow for the abnormal buy orders. And let's go see what gets accepted for that next Rust store. Hopefully it's interesting, fun. Hopefully we make lots of profits. Catch you later. Bye.